even. Right, just a quick word of warning, everybody. More recently, I don't think anybody has been very happy with Keir Starmer and Red Rachel and all the things they've been bringing in. And we can see our GDP going down and down and down. And maybe we think that it's only us, but it seems to be happening everywhere. I don't think we've ever had such a group of wicked people. I don't just mean this Labour government. I think the last lot too. I think a lot of politicians are good people. They go into it because they care about where they live and they care about their country. But unfortunately, the ones who get into power seem to be there to increase their own wealth and their own power. And half the time we turn our backs and let them get on with it. More recently, Keir Starmer has announced that the National Health is a disgrace and we're no longer calling it the National Health, we're calling it something else. And various people have been going on to 38 degrees and different things and getting people to sign up against all their local GPs and various things being sold off to American health things. And then Sir Simon, whatever his face is, who's been running the National Health, was in some big American health thing before. And so it's as though we're sort of being moved into the American health system, which is far from ideal. I mean, admittedly, I think there's a lot of wastage and inefficiency in the NHS, but it has been a wonderful thing, which we all value. I mean, we're all aware that if we were to get run down or something, God forbid, but if we were, that the National Health would treat us with great kindness and care, and we wouldn't have our houses taken away or be ruined by it. So more recently, Keir Starmer has stood up and said all this about the NHS, and that it's going to be renamed something else. We can't remember, of course, so we'll carry on calling it the NHS. But behind the scenes, what is going on? So I went to have my eyes tested the other day, and I have been entitled to a free eye test now because I'm 72, for the last 12 years. I have never had to sign anything before. So I go in and suddenly the chap who is attending to me asks me to sign this thing on the computer. Well, I never will sign anything without I haven't read it. So I put my glasses on and it says, I declare that I am happy for my data to be given to all these different organisations, including the prison service and the Inland Revenue. I'm just having my eyes tested. And so I said, I'm not signing that. I don't agree to my data going anywhere. So I picked up the little thing that I was supposed to sign with and started to write, I do not consent to having my data put. Immediately there was an uproar in the shop and they told me that, this was not possible, and unless I gave permission, I had to pay 25 quid for my eye test. So I made a big fuss and I walked out. And I went into Boots later, and although they were much nicer and much more diplomatic, it was the same thing. So what is Keir Starmer up to? In one of these dictations somewhere, it's talking about how we really have to, fight for our country and for our rights. And admittedly, you can't let criminality spread all over a country. You have to have laws, and people have to know that there are repercussions for antisocial behaviour. But really, I think Keir Starmer is pushing us towards communism. And I really would stress to everybody, do not just sign something in these normal things, sort of, is your doctor's surgery giving away your health and your and having a profile? Even I've got one of those Amazon Fire Sticks, and I've been looking at Netflix, which I'm not that enamoured with actually, and they want you to do your profile, and they're always trying to work out who you are, what kind of person you are. And one of the things that my sources say, is that if we don't stand up against these things and having our freedom curtailed in this way, we will just keep coming back into a planet that is more and more restrictive until it is a hell on earth. Right now, it's a beautiful planet. It's lovely. It's, we've got birds in the sky and nice plants, and 99.9% of people are lovely. And yet they're trying to tip everything upside down. I think the little thing that I put about oral sex and other abominations, or whatever they called it, what they were really trying to say was that everything is being tipped upside down. Every advert has to have a mixed race partnership and mixed race children and all these kind of things. The point is, all our races are immensely precious, and you only have to look at any single one of them. They're special, and they have their own customs, and they have their own people, and they have their own way of living, which is very carefully worked out for them, and they have healthy children because they're all similar. And they're happy, but they get moved over to the West, and they're not happy because they're out of their slot. And they're trying to force all these sexual deviations on our children. And I just feel that there's a creeping evil going on behind the scenes. Read everything. Really think about what life is about. And don't accept it. Anyway, that's the end of my homily, Miles. Miles! He's gone away, and I'm now sitting here. That's the end of my homily.
On this thing there?
Yeah, I know. Well, you can turn it off now because I finished. I'm going to do something else now.
Yeah, well, I'll do that.
Okay, that was one thing. I'm going on to another thing now.